Hi friends, it's Tanya at Sweet Tea Stampin' Spot, and it's Tuesday, just about a few minutes after noon, and I'm here to do my weekly Let's Do Lunch. If you've been tuning into my Facebook Lives for a while now, I have kind of been transitioning from doing them on Thursday nights. I used to do them on Thursday nights and called it Virtual Craft Together, and a couple of years ago, right before COVID, I think, our Scout schedules changed. And then of course COVID came and things changed there. And I was continuing to do a lot of Facebook Lives on Thursday nights. And then probably about the last 6 to 8 months, maybe 8 months, I've been starting to do them on Tuesdays at lunchtime. And basically I found that for my life and for my schedule, this fits the best, is to do my Facebook Lives on Tuesday at lunch. And so hopefully that works for your schedule, but if not, of course, you can always watch a replay here at Sweet Tea Stampin' Spot. I also have a YouTube channel. It's just under Tanya Reed, and there's my little profile picture. If you recognize my face, you'll know it's mine. But I put all of my Facebook Lives there now as well. Actually not 100% of them, but most of them. So I have about 30 videos over there that you can see and watch that have been maybe the last year or so. So thank you for joining me today. Hi, Tracy. I hope you are back from your vacation. Enjoyed your little getaway in the, I believe it was the Caribbean on a cruise. So glad to have you joining me today. And hi, Peggy. Nice to have you on today too. Haven't seen you in quite some time. But thank you for joining me. Like I said, I am now doing these. Basically, I scheduled myself for every Tuesday at noon, and I'll be sharing typically at least one project, and of course some of Stampin' Up's newest products and any promotions that they're currently have going on. And that's kind of my goal for our Let's Do Lunch. So if you have the opportunity to stamp along and are crafting along with me, please let me know what you're doing. I love to see what other people are doing, and for you to give me some encouragement as well. And so thank you for joining, and I'm going to get started. Like I said, I've started doing these basically every Tuesday around noon. I might not always be right at noon, but usually within the first 15 minutes after noon is when I'll start my Facebook Live. And like I said, if you can't watch real time, you can always watch a replay or on the YouTube channel. So, all right, so I'm going to get started for today. We are going to be doing, I'm going to be showing you a card using one of my favorite sweets in the new catalog called Tea Boutique. I actually did a class this past Saturday, and that's all we focused on was the cup of tea stamp set and all of the pretty paper that goes along with it, the note cards and envelopes, the dies, all of those pieces and parts were included in that class. I am actually getting my computer in front of me up so I can also see comments, so give me just a second to do that. Feel free, if you would like to share the video, you're welcome to share it. Of course, that helps me spread the Stampin' Love and reach more people that might be interested in crafting along or learning more about Stampin' Up or paper crafting. So, so yeah, let me see. I think I'm there. And there we go. Yes. Tea Boutique, like I said, it was the first suite. We had a pre-order opportunity as demonstrator, so I have actually had it since April. And it was one of the two suites that I bought. I bought the Tea Boutique suite and the He's the Man, or He's All That. He's the Man. He's All That is a stamp set, but He's the Man. It's a very masculine, guy-themed suite of products. But, of course, with Father's Day just around the corner, it's perfect to get your crafting for masculine cards. I mean, you can obviously use it for way more than that, but that's where it's tending to lean towards. So, so I'll be using that coming up in some of my future events over the next month. Of course, with Father's Day right on the horizon and about a month away. So, all right. So I see myself now, and hello, Katie. Thank you for joining. I'm going to go ahead and flip my phone down and do a little bit of information about, like I said, the current starter kit promotion, and let you know what my host code is for the month, and then I will show you this project And again, this is one of the projects I did at my class, my Stamp of the Month class this past Saturday. And I've already got my next one underway, planning for that for June. So let me get my phone turned down. Thank you for joining. And let's see here. Oops, that was a little bit of a jolt there on my phone holder. Sorry about that. And let's see here. Hopefully I have it all somewhat centered. If not, it's probably not too far off. And okay, so hopefully you can see my desktop, and maybe you see my catalog underneath my little shopping information code there. So, all right, so my current host code for May is YZQRV3BX. So this is the host code that if you were placing an order less, I'm going to say less than $100, and I'll tell you why in just a minute, but less than $100, you can link that to my May hostess code for orders. And of course, all your shopping and information about my upcoming events, and also a link to join the Sweet Tea Stampers team, can be found at tanyareed.stampinup.net. It also links you to the shopping website and the catalogs. You can see them online. All that can be found right there on my website, tanyareed.stampinup.net. All right, so I'll move that out of the way. And the catalog, of course, if you haven't had much time with this yet so far, of course, it's been available to customers for 2 weeks now, since May 3rd was when it first launched. So just 2 weeks, we're 2 weeks into it, and we'll have this all the way through April of 2023. I do have a clear cover on mine. I took it to my local office store that has a print shop, and they also did a spiral binding for me. It was about $5-6. So if you don't ever do that, I highly encourage you to do that. You just kind of drop it off and can pick it up later that day usually. But the catalog, like I said, if you haven't gotten one in your hands yet, you can see them online in their full now, in their full version. But if you would still like one, then I still have some, and so if you're local, I can coordinate getting one to you locally. If you are not local, I can ship them out to you. I just ask that you help with the shipping cost. I actually just sent one to Missouri to a new stamping friend there, and so let me know if you need one. We'll put a link to a way for you to sign up to get your own catalog if you don't have one yet for yourself in hand, because again, it's always more fun to have it in hand. And I know my lights are glaring right this second. Hopefully this will help a little bit, but I'm trying to make sure I have enough light down here where I'm working. So, all right, I don't know if that made it better or worse, but I just adjusted some lights. All right. So the Tea Boutique suite is the first suite in the catalog, and you can find it on page 12 and page 13. So page 12 kind of shows you some samples, and it gives you the ordering information for the entire suite. And what the suite includes is the stamp set, the dies, a package of the 6x6 Designer Series paper, and a package of the new Tea Boutique cards and envelopes. And so I'm going to be using some of these today and the paper, and I will be showing that to you in just a minute. But that's what the suite costs. So you can get all of those items, the stamp set, the dies, the 6x6 pack of paper, and the note cards and envelopes for $67. So that's really an awesome deal to get all of it in with one ordering number. If you weren't interested in getting the whole suite at first, the stamp set is here, and you can see it. This is actually real size, true to size. So like this is pretty tiny. The ladies, we used this thank you for your friendship greeting on one of our cards or one of our projects this weekend, and it is very small. But the other greetings are fine, and some of them, of course, are made so small that you can put them in the little tea bag, so that there is a point for that. But then the rest of them are true to size, so everything is true to size as pictured here in the catalog. And so that's the stamp set by itself, and then these are the stamp set and dies combined in a bundle, and that, of course, saves you 10% when you buy them together. This shows you just a little thumbnail of all the Designer Series paper and the note cards and envelopes. And then whenever you have a suite in the catalog introduced, they're going to give you a little guide as to what colors are used in that suite of products. So in the note cards and envelopes and the DSP. So that's kind of a quick look at what colors you might want to make sure you have in your ink pad collection. Maybe you want to get the cardstock in those colors so that it will nicely coordinate with your designer paper and your note cards and envelopes if you get the whole thing. All right, thank you. I'm glad it's not blurry. I think it was just a quick little internet blip or lagging. So thank you. It's not blurry now. That's good that it's not blurry. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be using on today's project. Now, if you just wanted to order the note cards and envelopes by themselves without putting them in the bundle, page 137, they are right here, and you get a package of 20 card bases and envelopes, and they're $10. So that's a really great deal for that note card and envelope, or not note cards, but cards and envelopes. And again, it's on page 137 of the catalog. And if you wanted the designer series paper, it is on page 134, and that is package of 48 pieces. Again, it's 6 by 6, and it's $12. So let me show you those up close and personal. So the designer series paper, again, it does come 6 by 6. Remember that on the back of your designer series paper, it does list all the colors that are in the paper, minus usually white is not listed as a color because it's just one of the colors of the paper. But the rest of the colors are listed there so that you, again, know how to coordinate your ink colors and your paper colors there with your designer series paper. So here's what they look like. I'm going to show you each one. So here we go. So again, one side is kind of a pretty colorful design and the other one's more of a muted design. And these are featuring some of the, well, all of the new in colors. So in this one, you've got Orchid Oasis, and that's kind of the back of that one. This one actually has the Crushed Curry and Garden Green, which I love this piece of lemon paper. Lemons are everywhere right now. If you've been looking at the stores or around in home decor, lemons are very popular right now. The back of that has this, I believe, is the Fresh Freesia, which is a previous in color, which is still available, but the one that was released last year. This is just some greenery with some little teeny flowers in there and a nice petal pink on the back. Then, of course, you got a variety of teacups here. There's no die to cut these out, but you could easily cut them out by hand. But it's got the Starry Sky, some of the Parakeet Party, the Sweet Sorbet, and the Fresh Freesia. Some colors there. The back of this has got more of the Starry Sky, some more florals there, and on the back of there, some Crushed Curry stripes. Another little floral piece with some little sprigs of greenery with some little flowers on there. And then the Parakeet Party striping there. The Sweet Sorbet here with some petal pink and Crushed Curry. And the back of that's petal pink. Here you can see the Tahitian Tide, the Orchid Oasis, Sweet Sorbet, and Starry Sky on some nice teapots. Again, there's no die to cut out these specific teapots, but you could cut them out by hand pretty easily. And then the back of this is kind of a wash of Starry Sky. I love this piece as well, even though it doesn't have anything to do with teapots. I love the fact that it's little envelopes with flowers. And again, featuring lots of the in colors, new in colors, Crushed Curry on the back there. And then a lovely piece with teapots here. The back of that's got the Tahitian Tide dots. And then this is another nice floral piece with the Sweet Sorbet and the petal pink, some Crushed Curry, and then the greens. And then on the back of that is a petal pink kind of gingham feel. So that's what the designer series paper looks like. Hello, Cheryl. Thanks for joining. The note cards and envelopes, again, they come in a pack like this. They're not note cards. I should say cards and envelopes. And I'm not going to say note cards because when you make these cards, they're actually our normal size, 8.5 by 5.5, and then it's scored at 4 1/4. So it creates a regular size card, our standard card that we normally make with Stampin' Up 8.5 by 11 paper. So this is the one that is the Orchid Oasis, and it has a lovely coordinating envelope, even a little bit of the imagery on the back. This is the Parakeet Party with the stripes, and then the nice coordinating envelope there. This is the Starry Sky in that envelope. This is the Sweet Sorbet, and I'm not going to make one with all of these today. And again, you get the 5 different colors. You get 4 of each of these in the pack for $10 with the envelope. So it's an awesome deal. And then the Tahitian Tide. I'm going to be using one of these today on my project. So really nice set of cards and envelopes. And I encourage you that if you get these, make sure you get the coordinating inks to play with and some coordinating cardstock. And some white would be great too, because then you can use those for different pieces of your project. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be making today. I know Cheryl was here at my class on Saturday, so she, if she's still on, has seen this one and got to make it herself. So I'll be using the stamp set, the Cup of Tea stamp set. And I have already die cut out the little lemon piece in crushed curry. So, but the die set is really nice. It has 17 pieces in it. So lots of pieces that cut out our stamped images. So this has a die cut. This has a die cut. The lemon has a die cut. Even these flowers have a die cut piece. Of course, the teacup outline, and there's a detailed teacup. There's a piece here that cuts out this little piece of greenery. And then there's some extra little baby tea bags and some little leaf things and some hearts and another flower there that cuts out this flower. So lots of fabulous dies here to coordinate with your Cup of Tea stamp set. On my project today, I'm also using, again, one of my favorite standalone die sets. This is in the new catalog called Stylish Shapes. And it is on page, like I said, it does not coordinate with any specific stamp set, but it's on page 175 of the new catalog in the very top there. It includes 15 dies, and it's 5 of the squares, 4 of the banner pieces, and then 6 of the circle pieces. So on this one, I'm going to be using a circle piece and one of the banner pieces, and they have that stitching effect on them too. So if you're looking for a great multi-use, lots of projects can be used, this is your die set to get, and it is $30 for the Stylish Shapes dies. Highly recommend that to add to your collection of dies. Or if you don't have any, it's a great first one to get to because those shapes can be used on lots of projects. Okay, so let's get to stamping. And again, this suite of products, the DSP, includes all 5 of the new ink colors, which I am loving. I still haven't been able to pick a favorite. I think Tahitian Tide is speaking to me the most right now, just because it's very bright and the color of water, and I think of summertime and all those fun activities we do in the summer. So, hello, Sherry. Thank you for joining me. I just saw your comment. Hello, hello. All right, so let's get started with the stamping. And as I mentioned, we'll be using the new Tea Boutique cards and envelopes. And I've already die cut some pieces. So from those Stylish Shapes, I cut about a medium, one of the medium circles, and then one of the medium banner pieces. And hopefully you can see the stitching on those 2 pieces. And then I've also already die cut in crushed curry the 2 pieces for the lemon wedge. So we'll add those on later. And then I've got a piece of the designer series paper with the crushed curry striping, and then the really pretty teapots there. So I'm going to stamp a couple things first, and then we'll do some assembly. So let's start with our tea cup, and I'm going to use from the Cup of Tea set the stripe cup there. And this is the new Tahitian Tide ink. And this weekend it was very bubbly and inky, and it looks like it still is a little bit. So it might show up a little bit bubbly on my card piece of cardstock, but I'm okay with that. So I'm going to just stamp this right at the bottom of that circle that I've already die cut. So there's the teacup and Tahitian Tide. And then I'm going to take my garden green ink pad, and this piece here that's just got the little greenery stems on it, I'm going to stamp that right at the top of my teacup, and I'm hopefully going to line it up well enough. Bring it down a little bit so I can see. There we go, not bad. And then we need to also do in the garden green, since I have the ink pad, I'm gonna do the greeting that says, take care of yourself, which is a nice greeting to just send to someone that maybe hasn't been doing well or is stressed out. I have a friend that's moving, is very stressed out right now. And we were just talking this morning. We actually got to meet up for breakfast this morning, which was nice. Don't really get to do that anymore. But we were talking about, even though she's got all these things to get done, she is still making sure she's doing some self-care activities to get through these next few weeks of moving. That's my friend Michelle. So I've stamped this all the way to the right side. And again, that's in the garden green, and I will show you why in a moment. The last thing is to stamp the little flowers. So these flowers do line up somewhat. I have not been able to do it perfectly yet, and I'm okay with that. But these little flowers here are all on one stamp, and I'm going to stamp that in crushed curry. So let me move this out of the way. All right, so crushed curry ink up that stamp, and you can kind of eyeball it. Good enough. Not perfect, but the flowers are kind of up there floating around. So I am good with that though. All right, now we need to assemble and put our project together. So I'm going to bring in the card base, which again, this is from the Tea Boutique Cards and Envelopes pack. And it's already pre-scored and pre-printed with that nice Tahitian Tide washed out dot background. And then I'm going to take my DSP. This is 5.5 by 1.5, I believe. Yes, 1.5. And I am going to actually tear this left side of the paper off. I'm going to tear that off. And then this one is 5.5 by 2 inches. And I'm going to tear off some of that left side as well. Some people don't like tearing, so you could put these pieces on flat if you wanted to. This I'm going to put on with some of our regular green glue, Tombow mono adhesive, and I'm going to leave a little bit of the edge of the Tahitian Tide showing, so it's not going to go all the way to the left edge, but maybe about a 1/2 inch showing. And then I'm going to put the next piece on with the teapots. And these are just going down flat. Okay. And next, I'm going to take the greeting, take care of yourself, and I'm actually going to, for continuity, tear this left side of this one. All right. And I'm not going to put that down yet. I'm going to next put on my circle with my tea cup in it, and I'm going to use some dimensionals for that. So I'll put about 4 dimensionals on the back of that. I'm almost to the end of a sheet, which is very satisfying, as my son would say. Very satisfying to finish out something. And put that kind of in the middle, but a little bit to the left. So I'm covering a little bit of the designer series papers. And then this piece I'm going to actually adhere down flat. And I wanted to put this here first so I can position it a little bit better, because a little bit's going to be underneath of the circle. This is going to be flat. So the circle was popped up and this part is flat. Okay. And then the last thing we need to do is put our little lemon slice on. Hi, Irene. Thank you for joining me. Thought I saw your face pop up there on my little Facebook feed. So for the lemon wedge, again, I cut it out of crushed curry. It comes in 2 pieces. You can do the solid wedge, which of course there is a stamp that if you wanted to stamp it out and then cut it out, that would fit that one. And then you've got this more detailed part of the lemon wedge. And I'm gonna just take a glue dot right on that center part there, and then put that right on top of there. So just it's not popped up, it's just adhered there. And then I'm going to take a little bit of adhesive, my little Stampin' Seal, and just stick that right to the circle directly. And it'll kind of hang off the edge there. And voila, there you have it. A fun card, and of course it's got an awesome coordinating envelope with it. Like I said, this Tea Boutique suite is awesome. I'm loving all of the elements of it. The dies, the stamp set. Let me move my little notepad out of the way. Or foam pad, not notepad, my foam pad out of the way. The dies that go with it. All the colors and the designer series paper. It is an awesome suite, and I highly encourage you to look at it again if you pass by it on the first go round or maybe the third go round. But I'm loving it. I love all the colors in it, of course. All the in colors are featured throughout the designer series paper, and it's just an awesome, awesome set. And I think everybody that was here this weekend did really like the projects we did. I'm not going to show them all to you today, but if you want more information about my future class, my next Stamp of the Month class is going to be on Saturday, June 11th. Of course, if you're not local to me and you want it to go, I will have a to-go version as well, and so that's an option. But we're going to be featuring the He's the Man suite of products. So He's All That is the stamp set, and He's the Man is the suite. So the attendees will be focusing on just that stamp set, and the cards will all be a more masculine take on card making for that day, and we'll do a couple of 3D projects too that are be good for gifts for possibly Father's Day or birthdays and things like that. So just a reminder, if you want more information about my events, you can go to tanyareed.stampinup.net and click events. I don't have all my June stuff loaded in yet. Look for that starting next week. But I do have through May and the very first part of June loaded in there for my upcoming events locally here. And then when there is a to-go option, it'll say that. You can also place an order using my May hostess code here. And if you're interested in the starter kit, I don't think I even mentioned that today, but that is Stampin' Up! Special right now is the starter kit. And in the starter kit, each person gets to choose 125 in product, and that's the normal starter kit. Then the starter kit gets 125 in product for $99. You just pay the tax on that. The shipping is included. And then in addition to that, you're going to get all 5 of the new in color ink pads, the full size ink pads. So that's all Orchid Oasis, Parakeet Party, Starry Sky, Sweet Sorbet, and Tahitian Tide. You'll get all 5 of those. You'll get a pack of 6x6 in color designer series paper, which is again featuring all 5 of these colors, and it's a pack of 40 sheets of designer series paper with the in colors. You'll also get a pack of assorted in color cardstock, 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and you will get a pack of the new in color grid sheets. So you guys have seen me use the little grid sheets. This is cut down from a full sheet. This is actually a 1/4 of one, and they have a brand new pack of them that have all the pretty new in colors featured on one corner of it. So I think I see Peggy had a question. Did I make the in color tag? Yes, I made this as part of my Better Your Best event for my team, and I just cut out little pieces of cardstock. I printed this out. I made a little Excel file with this. So if you want, it is a bookmark, but yeah, you could use it as a very large tag, but more of a bookmark. It could easily be a placeholder as you're flipping through your catalog. I do have a file that you could print out this. If you want to send me a message and I can email you the file for this. I just printed it on computer paper and then stuck it to a piece of cardstock and then cut out little pieces of the coordinating cardstock, and I actually stamped them with the little flower here from the cup of tea set. So that's just tone on tone stamping with all 5 colors. So yep, if you would like to get one of those, I don't have any more of the bookmarks themselves, but I can send you the file that if you want to make one for yourself, I don't mind emailing you the file that you could print out this little piece back here where you would then put your pieces of cardstock on. Okay, everybody, have a great rest of the day and rest of the week. Thanks for joining me for my Let's Do Lunch here on Tuesday at Sweet Tea Stampin' Spot, and I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.